Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this video is honestly run by you guys. I'm just answering what you guys had to ask. So a few days ago I asked on my Instagram for you guys to give me assumptions, opinions that you guys have about nursing school. And because I'm leaving nursing, it's literally like a couple more weeks away, I'm going to be confirming or denying those assumptions based on my experience over the past 4 years. So the first assumption is that nursing is hard, nursing is difficult, nursing is complicated. I think this was the most popular opinion, but personally I don't think academically nursing is difficult. If you employ the right study methods, if you learn how to answer your questions, because nursing is about you answering technique and application. If you learn that nursing is about dealing with symptoms, that's what most of the things that you're going to be answering are about. If you learn that with each module you need to create a different study method, because not all modules are the same, especially like with your general nursing, your fundamentals of nursing, those questions have a lot to do with scenarios, whereas with your human biology it's about understanding the body and how that helps you as a nurse. So if you understand those things and you can implement them and you can answer things correctly, academically I don't think nursing is difficult. Where nursing becomes difficult is the emotional aspect, where you've got clinical placement, you've got admin issues that are just not adding up, the amount of work that you have to do. In placements, you're dealing with drama, you're dealing with the physical and emotional exhaustion of being in a clinical placement. You're working in a psych ward, that is the most emotionally exhausting and draining field ever. So once you combine those emotional aspects of nursing, then yes, nursing is difficult to manage all of that, and that is why you have a lot of students that are suffering from a lot of mental health issues, burnout. I experienced that. I even made a whole video about that, where it impacted my personal life. The second most popular opinion is that nursing is competitive to get in. Absolutely, 110%. So yes, nursing is very competitive to get in, because there is a lot of students that are applying for getting into nursing. So for all of you that are applying, if you're not passionate about nursing, please don't choose nursing. If you're going into nursing because it's the easiest career to go into, there's good money, job security, no, please don't do that. That is not going to sustain you, because you're going to be burned out, you're going to be fed up with nursing. With nursing, you need to have a passion for it, because you need that drive, you need that push when things get tough, because trust me, they get tough, and you need that internal motivation. The third assumption is that once you start nursing school, goodbye to your social life. Personally, I highly disagree with this. In my 4 years, I was able to manage my marks, I was able to start a YouTube channel, I was able to work multiple part-time jobs, and also have a social life with friends. So clearly you can have a social life. However, the caveat to all of this is you need to have good time management, because I already told you that there's a lot of demand from nursing school regarding clinical hours. There's a lot of workload regarding the things that you need to learn. It might not happen according to your own preferences. So for example, you might want a weekend out on a specific date, but you can't because you have to work, but you have another weekend that you can work around with. So there's going to be a lot of compromises and a lot of your friends and family working according to your schedule, but you definitely can have a social life. The fourth assumption, which I've never fully understood, but I get a lot of DMs regarding this, that you can do nursing part-time or you can do nursing distance learning. And I'm just like, what? So yes, we were able to do nursing online, but that was the most horrible experience that I've ever had. Personally, my marks dropped because of COVID, which is weird because we were at home, open book tests, that sort of thing, but my marks dropped. So clearly I functioned better with in-person classes. So nursing, there's a lot of practical things that happen with it. You need to be in skills lab to be able to learn about your anatomy, physiology, your competencies, your procedures, and that sort of thing. All of that needs to happen in person. Trust me, you would want your lectures to be in person. So no, I've never seen any SANG accredited distance learning university or college that offers nursing. Even your private institutions, it's in person. So no, you cannot do distance learning or part-time with nursing. The fifth assumption is that you can't work and go to nursing school at the same time. This obviously goes to the comments that I made regarding your social life. If you can manage your time, you definitely can work and do nursing school at the same time. You can click over here where I made a video regarding this and how I managed to both work and go to nursing school. The sixth assumption is that all nursing degrees are the same. No, absolutely not. So there is three main nursing routes that you can enter into. You can do your 1-year certificate where you become an ENA. You can do your 3-year diploma where you become a registered general nurse, or your 4-year where you end up as a registered professional nurse and midwife. So when students come to me and ask what should I study or which nursing degree is the better one, I always ask you the question is, what is your end goal? Because some nurses, they're okay with just being an ENA doing general nursing stuff because it's 1 year, it's not a lot of money, and that fits for them. Others, they want to be a fully registered nurse because they want to specialize, they want to do other things. But ultimately, not all nursing degrees are the same. It all depends on your end goal. You can click over here. I have a playlist where I explain all those different nursing degrees that you can enter into. The seventh one, this one we know. Nursing is only for women. False. It can be for any gender. However, it is mostly females that apply or enter into the nursing profession. There definitely are thriving males that enter the nursing profession, that even enter the most awkward disciplines like your midwifery, that actually enter nursing. So no, but however, the ratio is pretty wild. I think we had 10 male students out of maybe over 50 female students, and there's actually a lot more males that are coming into the profession, so that's really great to see. And then just to add on that, the eighth assumption that I received is that male nurses are not as effective or as hardworking as the female counterpart. This is a difficult question to ask because it's a friend of mine that brought in this assumption. But from my personal experience, obviously it can be biased because I've only worked with very few male students. So I'm going to first speak about the students. Personally, from my experiences, I agree with this assumption. Most male nursing students, I feel they are lazy. Most of them run away from work. They come in, they make sure that you see them, and then all of a sudden in the afternoon they disappear. Then they come back when it's time to sign, or if they are present, they'll be sitting down on their phone, or they don't want to do work, they don't want to do any hard work, they want to do the easy stuff and that sort of thing. So from my experiences, I haven't had any great experiences with male nurses. Obviously there are a few exceptions, like the friend who sent this assumption, but from my experiences with nursing students, unfortunately, they've quite a bad reputation. And I do apologize to the few that really do work hard, but your gender, it's not doing, your comrades are not helping you guys. Because even when you go into the wards, even the sisters themselves, they're like, we've got a male student, are they going to work? You guys have that reputation, so you really need to speak to your gender and say, guys, we need to pull our socks together. But when it comes to male nursing staff, most that I've worked with, they're really like passionate about their job. They really love what they do. Obviously, there are a few exceptions where they're lazy. They do a few stuff here so that you see that they're there, then they disappear. But yeah, in most cases, when they become registered nurses, they do well. So I don't know what's happening with our students. This assumption is interesting. They say that all you do in first year is you deal with poop, all you do is washes, all you do is the manual labor in nursing. Honestly, I approve of this because that is what happens in first year. And the reason for this is in first year, you don't know anything. You're coming straight out of university. In most cases, you have maybe 1 month of skills lab. And in skills lab, all they're teaching you is how to fold a bed, or how to make up a bed, how to wash a baby, how to wash an adult while they're in bed. So when you enter the clinical facility, that's all you know. That's how it was for me. When we entered, we didn't know anything. All we knew was how to make beds. And the nursing staff, they know that. So all they can give you is that. And another thing is, your scope of practice is for you to provide self-care and for you to provide feeding. So when it comes to self-care, is making beds, washing the patients, making them comfortable, feeding, make sure that they're eating, you're feeding them, and that sort of thing. So unfortunately, in your first year, that is majority of the stuff that you're going to be doing. Obviously, if you make friends with the registered nurses or the staff nurses, they can allow you to like shadow them while they're doing medication, insulin, and they can teach you how to do those things, so that by the time you enter into your second year, you know how to give medication, you know how to give injections, you obviously know how to give insulin and that sort of thing. But please, when you do that, be careful. Make sure that you're supervised, because if you give something on your own and there was no one that was watching you and something goes wrong and it has to be reported, I can promise you those friends or those nursing friends of yours that are registered nurses, they will throw you under the bus. There is no way they're going to sacrifice their license for you as a student. So please, always be careful. I feel like I should make a video about how to protect yourself and just what to look out for when it comes to working with nursing staff, because honestly, they can be your best friends or they can be your worst nightmare. So just be careful with that one. This assumption, it's a sore point for most people, and the assumption is that some students get into nursing because they couldn't get into medicine. For some, that's exactly how it is. Nursing is just an entry route into medicine, because they will do nursing, then they will enter via the GEM program, life moves on, and they become doctors. And honestly, we can't blame them. If it didn't work the first time, if there's another way to do it, cool, because it is easier for you to go via nursing than for you to go via the life sciences route and that sort of thing. So we really can't blame them. And the next one is that the new nursing program is harder than the old nursing program. So if you don't know and you're new to this channel, please click here. There's a video where I explain these differences. But with the new nursing program, you graduate as a registered professional nurse and midwife. In the old program where I'm graduating from, you graduate as a registered professional nurse, midwife, community health nurse, and a psychiatric nurse. So is it more difficult? Is it not? I don't know. I still need to have a conversation with those that are in the new nursing program to see what's up. Is it easier? Is it not? But from my own personal view and from the things that I've seen, one, they have different modules to what we had. So they have editions of microbiology, communicable diseases. They start their research in third year. They have fewer hours than we did. So who knows, maybe it's easier because they have less clinical hours, but who knows. So I honestly can't give an honest review on this. I will definitely organize a video for the new year where I discuss with someone who's in the new nursing program and we compare it with the old one to see what's the differences. Is it harder? Is it not? But if you're in the new nursing program, let us know what it's like. I'm sorry, some of these assumptions, they hurt. So this assumption says that nurses merely follow doctors' orders. Technically, yes, because most of the care that we give our patients is as a result of the doctor's orders and what they feel is best. But you need to understand that with medicine, they focus on treating the illness. With nursing, we are more focusing on treating the symptoms. So we are working from different avenues but all treating the same patients. So one way or another, someone is going to tell someone else what to do. However, nurses are still independent professionals. We also still have a brain. We can still make decisions about what we think is the best treatment for that patient based on what we're seeing, how the patient is reacting to the doctor's orders and what we're providing them, and also from our own clinical judgment of saying, okay, this patient is on this medication. I don't think they should be on this medication because of this and this and this. We also are trained to think and to make decisions regarding that, and we can go tell the doctor, no, I don't think this is the right treatment modality for this patient. Could you rather do this and this and this? You can go and collaborate and advocate for your patient that way. So yes, we do follow their orders and that sort of thing, but no, we're not just mere robots and servants of yes sir, yes ma'am. We can think. If we disagree with something, we can change it up. And then the other assumption regarding this whole following order, the assumption is that we don't do any calculations other than in Paeds and ICU. That is false. You do medication calculations everywhere. That is someone's life that is on your hands. So please do make sure that you do calculations. Yes, in ICU and Paeds, the calculations are a bit more nitpicky because it's very small amount, it's large amount, or it's different medications that you're mixing and that sort of thing. So in those two different disciplines, the calculations a bit more complicated than in the other disciplines like your general ward, your surgical, and that sort of thing. And then also on this point, sometimes you see some nurses that have been in those wards for years and they know their patients so well that they can tell you the medication and the quantity of the top of their head. They don't even need to look at the blue board. I mean, it's commendable that they can do that, but please don't do that, because anything can change on that patient's prescription chart, and if you don't check, you're gonna get yourself into trouble. That's why sometimes you even see that patients haven't received medication for maybe a week or a couple of days or a shift, because the nurse is so trusting of what they have on their mind. So it's always good to check. Even if you know what the medication is, just check in case the doctor has added something new or something has been crossed out. Hey, these assumptions are spicy. The next one is that nurses and doctors are frenemies. Not always, but yes, there is instances where it is like that. For me, I believe it's the way that the two different disciplines approach each other, and in most cases, it's the way that the doctors approach the nurses. And here's why I say that. The nurses technically are the mother hen of the ward. They know how the ward functions, they know where all the equipment is, they know how to use the equipment in that ward, they know their patients from head to toe, in and out, because they spend a lot of time with the patient. So if a doctor or a student doctor comes in, you're coming into their territory. As a result, you need to work according to their rules. So if they tell you put the stapler back in the drawer, put it back. If they tell you to clean up after yourself, put it back. If you as a doctor, you come in with this authority, I'm the doctor, you're just a nurse, oh, they will show you flames. Don't, especially with the older nurses, don't even try it. Come, be respectful. It's their ward, they are running it. The same way that they can come into your office and tell you what to do. So it's all about respecting each other and just how you approach the situation. If you're gonna come and be almighty, they will show you your place, even as a student. So it's all about how you approach each other. You're both there to work together to treat the patient, but if the one wants to act higher than the other, that's where we have problems. There definitely has been fights that I've seen, but there definitely has been cases where the doctors and the nurses, they love each other, they work so well, and I've definitely seen this a lot in theater. They work beautifully well together. So yes, they're frenemies in some cases and they're best friends in others. It's just about how you respect each other and how you work together. Like they say, the golden rule, do unto others as you like them to do unto you. And the last one is that nurses are underpaid. Well, can we say that? Who knows? But anyway, let's take it from an objective point of view. So according to pay scale, and also from the meeting that we had with people from the community service staff, they told us that a nurse earns 213,930 per annum plus 37% of that 213 as benefits. So your total per annum will come to 293,084. So that'll be plus minus 24,423 per month before tax. And then I used the Old Mutual tax calculator, and it calculated that from your 24,000, 3,474 would go to tax. So you're going home with plus minus 20,948,000. However, this depends on the discipline that you're working in and also the number of years of experience. So that's plus minus the range that you are in, and also whether you're in community service or not, because in community service your tax is a bit low. So if we're working with 20,000, it's not bad, but ultimately it all depends on your lifestyle, also the things that you want to spend on. So if you are a single person and you're earning 20,000 is pretty great if you've got good habits. Then obviously with some nurses, because they are married to doctors or engineers and that sort of thing, then obviously their lifestyle can be upgraded a bit because their partner is earning more and that sort of thing. So if you're looking at 20,000 and according to your lifestyle, do you think nurses are underpaid? Are they not? Personally, I feel we are underpaid with the amount of work and the amount of hours that we do, we definitely are underpaid compared to doctors, compared to your occupational therapists and that sort of thing, who could be in the range of 30,000 and above. I think that would be great. But yeah, that is a debate that we'll forever be debating, and who knows if it will change in the future. But personally, from my point of view, I think 20,000 is too little. But yeah, these are all the assumptions that I've approved and denied. If you're a current student, you've graduated, comment down below and let me know what you think of all these assumptions. Do you approve? Do you deny them? Let me know what you think. So until next week, Friday, where I'm going to be discussing the whole issue of, if you have a diploma, can you specialize? It's going to be a whole juicy topic. That one, the information there is. So definitely come back next week, Friday, 12 p.m. South African time. Have an awesome one. Bye, guys.